Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. I am Morgan from Titanium Performance, and I have Monica Delius here from Monica D Yoga. She is a yoga coach who helps her clients relieve stress, anxiety, and process grief with yoga, meditation, and breathing exercises. And she works one-on-one virtually with her clients and personalize every session based on her clients' needs that day. And her mission is to make yoga accessible for any age and fitness ability. So thank you for being here for this interview, Monica.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so we'll just jump right in. So my first question for you is, there's so many different styles of yoga out there and everyone kind of wants something different. Can you talk about what style you use with your clients?
Absolutely. So there's not a specific style I use because I incorporate so many different types of styles. But I would say in general, mine is not a super fast. Like if you've ever been to a yoga class and it's very fast moving, I usually don't do fast moving. I slow it down a little bit, which does not mean easier, but just holding postures longer so you have time to get into them and just build up that endurance and just less risk of injury and things like that. But I can throw names out and people are like, what does this mean? But there's yin and restorative and hatha yoga and blah, and there's all kinds of other styles. So I really, like I said, incorporate very different styles depending on what my client needs, and I mix and match and personalize it for them. So
Yeah, well, that's part of what makes you and your practice so amazing is that you can take those pieces for, like you said in the intro, or that I read about you, is you can personalize for that, not just what that person needs, but what that person needs for that day, which I think is super important because we all get caught up in our busy lives. And so for just to take time for ourselves is really big. And I think yoga can give us so many different things when we're practicing. And what you need one day might be different from what you need the next day.
definitely, someday you need planks and some days you need to just relax.
Lay on your back and close your eyes and
Yep.
take some deep breaths.
Oh, true.
So, I've gotten to know you pretty well, but can you talk about how, your experience and your knowledge of teaching yoga? I can't remember how long you said you've been teaching, but it's been a while, and how you use that in your one-on-one approach as a instructor.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And yeah, I was just called a veteran instructor somewhere. And I'm like, I'll take that as a compliment. So it's been over 10 years and I've been practicing for getting close to 20, like 18, 20-ish years. So,
Yeah.
and I just blanked on your question. You said senior instructor.
Yeah, no. So, how can you use all of that experience to in personalizing those one-on-one sessions for your clients, because so many people are used to like a class setting.
Yeah.
So one-on-one yoga is really unique and special.
Well, and I think you and I are very similar in this manner because our job is to really read our clients' bodies too, to see what's going on and what their injuries are. And they may not even know that they have something going on because they've maybe, been hobbling a little bit with the knee or maybe not be able to move the arm quite as much, but they just kind of have dealt with that. So really taking all that into account, being a good observer, a good listener, and then adapting the poses, taking from whatever modality I need from yoga, whichever format, and bringing that in and really customizing it for them. So yes, all those years of experience. And, I taught a lot of group classes and which are great. But I really think if you're starting out, it's very important, like just with strength training, to get that one-on-one attention. So you really get your form down so you can, practice and work out in a safe manner.
Yeah, well, and it's so easy in a group setting to just kind of follow along and go with the flow and maybe not listen to your body as if at the same in the same manner, I guess, as if someone's like one-on-one and really watching just you and your body move. And also working one-on-one with clients, you get to see and you develop that relationship with people and know how their body moves. So if it isn't moving one day, you can also find that too, where that might get missed in a big class. And like you said, classes aren't bad, but that one-on-one just gives you that little extra that you might need if you're working through some kind of injury or you're new, and just back to basics yoga. It's really great.
Exactly. And I think too, what I've noticed is I've had people who have practiced for a long time and then they've gone and had surgery or have an injury and they try to force themselves back into a class and try to do the same things. And that's another case for, again, for both of us too, where it's like you really should get that extra help at first to know maybe an alternative pose to do or how to adjust the pose, the workout to make it work for your body so you don't end up re-injuring yourself or, you know, having to go back to physical therapy for how long. So
Yeah, no, I definitely get a lot of clients coming and they're like, well, I used to be able to do this, but then this happened. And, I think also building that relationship, because yoga is also half mental, right? Like half of it's physical, but half of it's mental. And so, showing appreciation for your body, even if it's changed. And I think that that's something that you offer in your yoga practice too, is like being able to acknowledge those changes. And, part of your practice is also processing emotions like grief and stress and anxiety. And so I think that all can kind of tie in together.
yeah, and those have been really big. The grief one has been newer where I've talked about it more, but I had several clients or have several clients who've come to me specifically for that purpose because they have lost a loved one and either a therapist, their grief therapist had recommended that they start yoga, which I'm like, yes, thank you. And I never, I mean, I knew it had an impact because I've not gone through any major grief in my life. So I've seen it on others, but to see it one-on-one like that and see literally how someone processes it and moves through it. And with that help between the therapist and yoga and meditation and breathing, it's really, it's been an honor to just be by my client's side as they're moving through it and just support them in that manner. So yes, so those are big things. And I think right now we're seeing a lot of grief, it doesn't have to be a loss of someone. It's a change. Our whole lives have changed since the pandemic and probably aren't going to go back to what we're used to. And I think a lot of people are just struggling with that too.
Oh yeah, grief is, can just follow so many things. And so I think yoga can be a really great way to process that and kind of force us to slow down. And I know a lot of us were forced to slow down in the last year and a half, 2 years, but we weren't given the tools to process anything in a very stressful time. So I think that, getting the tools to process grief and just all of our emotions, I think that is really powerful. And you can see your passion coming through when you were talking about, how seeing and working with those clients. So can you talk, before we wrap up, a little bit about how you use that passion and, how you got into this because you wanted to, help people and fulfill a need. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, I guess I'll start back when I started yoga. I started because I had back pain. So it was recommended my physical therapy, go to yoga and that should help you. So I started first, I walked around a lot of times before I went in class. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. How can these people do this stuff? It's very intimidating. It really is. And that's part of my passion is to help women who would never, women and men who'd never walk into a studio or yoga studio, fitness club, or, for whatever reason, or especially now with with the pandemic, or they have to be more careful and they would prefer to be home and practice that way. So that was a big part of it, changing that. And then when I started, I just realized it helped my back. But I walked out like they call it the yoga high. And I'm like, you go out and you're like, oh, it's like, what is this? And you keep coming back for that, that feeling of just release and relaxation. And that really sold me on yoga there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that personal journey for you was really powerful. So now you can see that when you talk about it and working with your clients, how much you enjoy that process with them.
And then, yeah, and just sharing that with them now has been so
Yeah.
fun. And people who have never tried it before, they're thinking it's like the videos on TV or on YouTube. Like, there's a lot of young, skinny women in spandex that are like, I'm pretty sure they're all airbrushed and they're all gymnasts because I can't do the poses they can do. And that is also part of my passion because I focus a lot on women in their midlife
Yeah.
because they are not really targeted in this market. They're pretty much ignored. And
Yeah.
if you see all those videos, if I were starting out, I would be like, well, yoga's not for me because I can't stand on my head. I can't put my toes in my mouth. I can't wrap my foot around my neck, whatever.
Yeah.
And I just like to share with everyone. I've been practicing for 18 years and I cannot do that either. Some things I can do. And I'm like, you got to celebrate that. But a lot of those
Right.
will never happen in my body. And that doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. It's like yoga is meant for
Yeah.
everybody. It really is.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you said, a little bit earlier too, walking into a studio filled with people or any kind of gym, it's very vulnerable to just put yourself out there and, especially if it's something you've never done before. And I really think that offering virtual services gives a really great introduction to people who maybe that's just a little bit too far outside of their comfort zone, or maybe at some point, like you would have, instead of circling the class, walked in, but it kind of takes down a barrier for some people. And so it allows them to, you build that really intimate connection still in the safety and security of their own space, and then gives them representation, like you said. I think representation in all levels of fitness and abilities and age, all of those things, it's really important because, preventative health should be accessible to everyone too, like yoga and strength training. And I think it's not always. So that's part of my passion, and I think a shared passion of ours.
Absolutely, yes. And I was going to say, like, I have clients who can't leave the house or can't like stand, so they can sit and do yoga in a chair. And people are like, oh, that's easy. Because we can still do planks, we can still do, core work. So that's not a barrier at all to not be able to stand, to not and get on the floor. If you've had knee surgery, hip surgery, whatever, doesn't matter. You can do yoga.
Yeah. And those are things that you would never get in a big class. So again, your personalized approach just really breaks down those barriers for people to just spread the love for yoga.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And if anyone watching this video has any more questions for Monica, you can find her on Facebook at Monica D Yoga. And we'll put a link to her with the video as well. But thank you so much, Monica, for being here and answering our questions.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me, Morgan.
Yes, it was great.